On this episode of the Backcountry Vagabond.
He's not coming into the water, so what the hell do I care?
He might just flip to the side onto my head.
Ah! It doesn't matter, because I'm in panic mode at this point.
This is your Backcountry Vagabond, Greg Sidnam, inviting you to join me for a backcountry adventure. Hey ho, we are going fishless. Inherently, it means that I will have a smaller meal. Today, I did a whole lot of nothing. I went out fishing for 2 hours and didn't catch anything. I had plenty of opportunity today. The only problem was, I couldn't land anything. I hooked up, I don't know, 6, 7, we're going again. 8 times maybe, and I got one close to the boat that I lost. Oh, and I lost him, son of a bitch. I tried to shoot the eagle over by the island. From what I can tell, I did not get it. Looks like all, who knows. I was in the boat trying to row when the damn thing flew in, so I don't really blame myself, but damn, that's small. This is gonna probably take, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. And in the interim, I figure I might give us a little story time. Little campfire sessions, if you will. Oh, there we go. This is the story of the closest alligator encounter I've ever had in my life. Now, some of you may know, the Vagabond has had a widely varied employment history. I've worked as a shoe salesman, I worked in a lumber yard, I worked in a funeral home, I worked as a telemarketer, I worked as a cab driver, I worked on the road touring the world with dance companies, I worked as a director, you know, just odd little things. Somewhere along the way there, I was also a contract scuba diver for golf balls on Hilton Head Island in South Carolina. This was 30 years ago. As a contract diver for golf balls, you go into the courses that you're contracted to. You have a list of water holes that you have to go in and retrieve all the golf balls in there. Don't all, but the best you can. You get paid by the ball. I was making 7 cents a ball, I think, not very much. But at the time, I could go out and I could work 2-3 hours and make $100, $150. In 1990, 1995, that's decent money. Now, for whatever reason, I am an immensely talented golf ball finder in muck and blackness. So why not do that? Well, the reason is alligator. That's the number one reason. Okay, so I am in Shipyard on Hilton Head Island, which is near the southern end of the island. What do they call them? Estates or private settlings? I don't know. But you've got a security guard at every entrance, and they only let people in that have passes. Well, you know, I'm going to the golf course, so it doesn't really matter. Driving around the golf course, and I'm having a horrible, rotten, miserable day. It's 90 degrees. I've got a full scuba gear outfit on, but I don't have a real scuba gear outfit. I don't have a BC, a breathing control device. I've got a backpack harness with my tank strapped on it. I've got a regulator, but I don't have a spare regulator. I don't have a depth charge. I don't have an air gauge. I don't have anything. It's stripped down. You're going into the mud. It's the nastiest, stinkiest, filthiest, nasty thing you've ever seen, or smelled, or been in, or felt. It's kind of disgusting. But for whatever reason, going like this, I could fight golf balls just, you know, with my eyes closed, essentially, because my eyes were closed a lot of the time. So I'm having an awful day. It's really hot. I'm miserable. I just want to finish up the day and go home, but I can't do it unless I get a certain number of balls. So I roll over to Brigantine number 9. And Brigantine number 9 is an interesting hole. It's near one of the main entrances to Shipyard. So there's a great big lake right by the security gate. There's a couple of islands out there, and it holds gators. And it holds a lot of gators. And at least one of those islands has a gator den in it, so that in the wintertime, you'll see 5, 6, 7 gators up on that island, sunning themselves, trying to get warm. It's par 4, dogleg to the left. with water in front of the tee box and all along the left side for about 150 yards. So if you top it, you pop it up, it's going into the water. So there are usually a lot of balls there, but because there are so many gators in there, we typically use the boat on it because divers don't want to go in where the gators are. Can't say I blame them. Well, I decided I was going to go in there. I looked around, I drove around, I couldn't see any alligators except the one alligator about 7 feet long, just sitting on the island. Not moving at me, nothing. I went to the water, I splashed around, nothing. It's 90 degrees. Water is probably 80, 82 degrees right at the surface. So it's warm no matter how you look at it. So I figured maybe it's just too warm, he just wants to relax on there. I'm gonna go ahead and dive this hole. I jump in the water, I'm up by the tee box, and I'm going through, it's got a fairly steep drop off, about 4 feet deep. Balls are rolling right down to the bottom of the drop off. There's a big line of balls. I'm doing pretty well, but every 3 to 4 minutes, sometimes even 90 seconds, I'm popping up, I'm looking around. I'm over by the tee box. It's shallow enough that I don't even have to get up. I can just kneel and I can look over it, and there he is. And I'm picking him up every time I'm moving. And as I'm moving down the hole, he's moving his body on the island to just sort of follow me so that he's always oriented directly at me. All right, well, he's not coming in the water, so what the hell do I care? I get about, I don't know, 2/3 of the way down the hole, and my bag's full. 800 balls. That's awesome. I had a big bag at that time, so having a lot of balls in it just made it really awkward and heavy, but I didn't care too much. I mean, I'm not running with it or anything, right? So I get out of the water, and that gator, and pretty much at this point, I'd say 25 yards from the island, sitting in the water, the gator's looking right at me. I'm washing my balls, I'm sorting them, putting them in the bag, go get the cart, get the bag, tie it up, move the cart back out of the way, jump back in. Well, I'm doing okay, getting better a little bit as we go along. I'm almost running out of holes, but somehow I've got another 200-300 balls. And then we get to the end of the hole, and the balls are just everywhere. In the back end of that lake, there's a deep pitch. Either there's a culvert or something has dug a hole in there, and all these balls are, stacked up 2-3 deep, and I'm just stuffing them in my bag as fast as I can. And I'm down there, well, I lost track of time a little bit. I bet you I put 500 balls in my bag in like 15 minutes. And I come up and it's been dark, and I look over to the island because I'm trying to see, but my eyes are still adjusting, and the sun is shining right on the water in line with me, and I'm sort of blind and I can't see him on the island, and I'm trying to look for him, and I'm looking around, and about 6 feet in front of me, I start seeing tail. And I turn my head real slowly like this, and his head is right there with the most evil, yellow, vertically pupiled eyes you've ever seen in your whole life. I knew at that point I was going to die today. Now, when a gator is in the shallows and is trying to get fish, what they do is they sit there with their mouth sort of open and they flip to the side, And so I knew that if I sort of created a current underneath his chin with my shoulder or anything, he might just flip to the side onto my head. So I didn't want that. But we were looking at each other. I've got my regulator in my mouth, right? And my mask on. And my eyes are basically level with his eyes. And he is looking at me, and we're not moving. And I'm trying to breathe. And I'm trying to do something constructive to get me out of this situation. So I slowly start to drop this shoulder, so I can maybe slide out from under him and move away and maybe get away somehow. I don't know how exactly, but I'm hoping. Just as I start to move, his eyes do that evil alien thing where they've got like a double eyelid, and they blink sideways and they blink vertically, and then he goes down. And I think, oh my God, he's coming for me right now. So as he goes down, I turn around, full scuba gear with a great big bag of balls between my legs in 4 feet of water. And I start running as fast as I can, just trying to get to the shore. Just trying to get to the shore before the gator gets me. I'm almost there, and I fall down, and I'm exhausted. And the gator comes up about 15 feet away from me because he had gone the other way. He dropped down and backed off. I thought he dropped out and came at me.
But it doesn't matter because I'm in panic mode at this point. You know, my heart's...
And I realize that he's starting to swim towards me again because I'm sitting in the water and he drops. And this time, I know for a fact that motherfucker is coming for me. So I turn around and it's like a 4-foot bank from the water. So I'm sprinting fast as I can, right up the hill, just move as fast as I can, get out of the water. I get up there and that little son of a came up right where I had been. He was coming for me. My golf cart's right there. So I sit down on the golf cart and I'm shaking and I'm shaking. And this is back when I smoked cigarettes. And I reach in and I'm trying to light my cigarette, shaking. Shaking. But I wanted to do something proactive. I reached out into the bag that I have of the clean balls that I just dug out of the lake, and I start chucking them at him. Now, I didn't hit him, but I really wanted to at that point. Just up there. Oh my God. I had nightmares of that incident for 6 months, almost straight. And to this day, when I have the death dream, I am always cold, crawling out of the water. I've got my full scuba gear on. I've got a bag of balls between my leg. I go up with this hand and it goes right through into a gator den. And as I'm struggling to get around, I hit something really big and it's black and it's right here and it looks at me with those evil yellow eyes and I see that big mouth open and to the side and I wake up. That is a bad death dream to have. But I've had it too many times. Oh, that's looking good, even though it's not very much. Sure could use a damn fish, Greg. Sure could use a fish. That is the worst alligator encounter I've had. Now, I've been chased across the fairway with an 8-foot gator chasing me, climbed out of the water after I'd been in the water, and I'm running. Gators chasing behind me. Golfers are back there on the tee box, and they're hitting balls into us, and they're laughing their asses off watching this gator chase me across the fairway. And I can hear them, but I'm terrified. I've had them climb up. I was in like 2 feet of water. I had them climb up on top of my back. I didn't know he was there until I heard his claws scratch on my tank. Oh, what an awful sound. Oh, I have had them literally mate 10 feet from me, a 10-foot gator on an 8-foot gator. That's scary too. I was just doing my business. I popped up, there they were humping, and I just dropped right down and kept going. Oh, that you'll do for money sometimes. That is another Backcountry Vagabond campfire story. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, don't swim with alligators.